that I'm here getting dressed to come and film, and I'm like, all right, let's put some makeup on. But travel come all the way over here without makeup. Like, there's no foundation. I have a bag with all my products, everything, no foundation. Alright, hi guys, welcome back to another video. First of all, you know what to do. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the like button as well as the notification bell. So you know why I come over here. It's because I have the topic of surgery. So yes guys, I've had surgery and I'm going to give you this story. Alright, so I must say this is a topic I don't really speak on. If you did not grow up with me or around me, I do not really talk on this because I feel like it's long gone. I mean, even though it's something I'm living with, I feel like it's long gone. And persons are seeing my scar a lot more because of the pictures I'm posting online. And you know, it's hard to answer everybody why I have a big scar. So I was diagnosed with scoliosis when I was about 11 or 12 years old. Now, scoliosis is the curvature of your spine. For me, I had lumbar scoliosis, which is really rare, really rare. But you know, my mother saw me walking lean. She figured more than less probably one of my legs was longer than the other. Went to the doctor and they did a bunch of x-rays, and I found out that I still have it, scoliosis. All right, so the process of finding out, I did a bunch of tests all over my body. The doctor then decided to do an x-ray of my back to see my spine, because they ruled it down to, you know, it has to be something with your back. And I did the x-ray, and that's when they found out. When you get diagnosed with scoliosis, they tend to measure the curvature of your spine to see how far along you are, so then they can move along with treatment. Now, for me, when I got diagnosed, my curve was less than 50 degrees. So the doctor said it was less than 50 degrees. So they recommend that I did therapy. No, I moved on from there, and I was doing therapy for about 6 months. And my family doctor said to my mother that she should get a second opinion, because I was doing all this therapy and it was not getting better. I was actually getting worse. So he suggested that she get a second opinion, and then we found a doctor in Kingston, which them claim to say he's the best. And this is where everything went downhill. All right, so upon getting our second opinion, I found out my scoliosis was way more advanced than what the first doctor said. I was way over 50 degrees angle, and then my scoliosis was so rare. So we were happy that we got to a doctor who they claimed to be one of the best in the Caribbean, but for some reason he did not want to do my surgery. No, he didn't really explain to us how severe it was, or the kind of scoliosis I had, how rare it was, etc. So he got us in touch to a doctor from New York, and that doctor came down and he performed the surgery. Now, before when that doctor saw my x-rays, he was like, wow, this is going to be my baby. So then we got explanation of the kind of scoliosis, like in depth, how it affects persons, you know, the kind of scoliosis that I have. And he went ahead and he did the surgery. The surgery went well. I lost a lot of blood, but I came back. Now I'm going to tell you the not so nice parts about this surgery. So I'm going to explain the not so nice parts of, you know, having scoliosis. So let me start by saying, high school, you know, you carry a lot of books. For me, my parents, they were worried about that. I knew a teacher, and she allowed me to keep my books in the staff room. Now, apart from that, I normally persons who have the scoliosis that I do have a lot of pain. I thank God I did not have a lot of pain. I started to have pain this summer before I did surgery, so about the August, I should say, and I did surgery the October. I didn't have a lot of pain. What I did get is I used to get bullied at school. So pretty girl like me, I know, but I got bullied at school because then, having scoliosis, you kind of twist. So, wearing my uniform would get twisted, and people would be like, hey girl, I see your uniform twist. And people knew. It's not like persons did not know, they knew. I remember one day a guy called out from his classroom when I said, hey, scoliosis, so people used to do that. I didn't really let it bother me, to be honest. So I pushed through all of that. Now let's talk about the bad parts of the surgery. So the scoliosis surgery, they basically put 2 irons in you, and then they put the screws to hold it in place. Now, this for me, it comes from my butt to about halfway, midway my back, or a little bit further. But they fuse your spine, and all of this keeps your spine in place, and you do not grow. Now, I was about 5 feet when I did my surgery, and now I am 5'2", so I grew 2 inches since my surgery in 2011. All right, so they do this to you. They wake you up during surgery to make sure you can move your feet, and then they finish up what they are doing, and then they put you in the ICU. Now, for me, I was there for a long time because I lost a lot of blood. So everybody get complications. I did surgery with a girl who her lungs got punctured. Everybody have some form of complication. Some persons don't. I met a little boy who did surgery probably 4 times before, and he kept doing it because he didn't want to fuse his spine, so he kept doing it so he could grow. Yes, I did surgery, stayed in the ICU for a bit, and then I moved down to my ward. Now, with scoliosis patients, they don't want you to stay in bed. They want you to start moving as quickly as possible after your surgery, a day or so. So it goes in stages. So thankfully, I didn't wake up with no pain. I was moving, twisting, turning on the bed. The nurses were like, oh, you can't do that. I was like, I'm not feeling pain. I'm good. The next morning, you are supposed to sit up. This is the first stage of, trying to move back. When I Google surgery in other countries, they wait days before they let you move. But in Jamaica, it's like the next day you got to keep going. So the next day they put me to sit up, and this is when the pain was like, I cried. I cried so much when they put me to sit up, and then the pain wear off. I could not feed myself. My parents had to feed me because you are stiff, like sit up straight stiff. And then the second day they put you to walk. Now, my walking experience is different because they assign you a therapist. But that day I felt like my therapist was not coming quick enough, and I wanted to go to the bathroom because they do remove the catheter and everything. Because this is they're supposed to start walking. Wanted to go to the bathroom. I could not wait on her, and I got out my bed and I walked by myself. So a nurse, she saw me and she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, I'll just walk beside you to see how, if you're going to make it to the bathroom. And I did. Yeah, me, I did not need my therapist. All right, so after that, I stayed in the hospital for about 7 days, and I did therapy every morning. So they would come and wake us up first because we were the scoliosis patients. They would wake us up first. We would walk around the block, and then each of us would go to therapy. Now, my surgery, I lost a lot of weight because my parents couldn't come. I was all the way in Kingston and I live in St. Anne, so they couldn't come every day to come and feed me. And it was hard to kind of like bend or like meet your food, so I really could not eat as much. And I did therapy every day. I felt weird because you have to learn how to walk and get back into your groove, and you know, how to sit up, or you know, make your upper body strong enough to can sit up for a long period of time like a normal person. So I'm sorry if I'm kind of losing my voice. I'm not tired, but I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I had to learn to sit up again, to walk again. And other girls I did surgery with, they would say it was not easy, like the day after, like, you know, doing therapy, etc. But I wanted to leave the hospital and go home. I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to be around people and not sick people. So I was doing everything, you know, just doing everything on a quicker pace, because I wanted to leave and I didn't want to be in that environment anymore, and I didn't want to be labeled as like the sick girl. So now life for me is pretty simple. After the surgery, you know, you kept going for your checkups. Um, but life for me now, it's not so hard knowing I live with something like this. Matter of fact, sometimes I do not even remember. So living with something like this, first of all, how I walk, persons will say, "Oh, you walk fancy," but after surgery, you have to learn how to not walk so stiff again because you know something is in your back. And this is how I walk now. Like on a daily basis, I walk really fancy. But it's just to be precautious, because we're not supposed to get, you know, a lot of falls, etc., because you're trying to still protect your back. um I sit up really straight. Persons would mock me about how I sit, like, you know, they'll say, "Are you comfortable?" Like, "Oh, the girl is sit down," so, and they don't know what's happening. A lot of persons say things and they don't know what's happening with the person's body. But I sometimes don't remember I have scoliosis. You do I do have to live with, like, you know, side pain because they tore a muscle here to straighten you up. So I was lean like this, then they straighten you up. So I tend to get a lot of pain on my side daily. No, I am very good with pain. I don't really speak about it unless like it's really, really bothering me, and I do not take pain medication for it unless it's really bothering me. My back do hurt every day as well, so I can't sit for long, stand for long. The only thing I can do for long is lay down, but I try to keep my body active. So if you know me, I am in the wedding world, events world, and I keep moving. It doesn't bother me until like the end of the day, so I don't feel it during the day when I'm moving, but at the end of the day when I'm supposed to sit, it's like all that weight come down on me. Apart from that, I am limited to doing certain activities, you know, certain sports, etc., that is going to put you in either moving your body too much or allowing you to fall. So I don't do certain sports, etc., but I still do go on like a normal person. um this does restrict you from doing certain things, like I cannot go to the supermarket and carry heavy bags. I have to have somebody there with me. I You really can't do certain things because of your back. You can't move certain things, so you have to have somebody around you to do that. And for me, that's the saddest part of having scoliosis, is that sometimes I feel like I cannot do things that I want to do for myself. I want to, you know, go to the supermarket and carry your bags yourself, and you can't do that because you'll feel the pulling sensation in your back. You cannot push heavy things. You know, you have to have somebody there to help you. So, and then the other thing that bothers me is you can never find a comfortable position to like stand in or sit in for a long period of time. When I was going to school, that did bother me because sometimes I'd have to go to the back of the class to stand, or I'd sit, or so I growing up, I really did not share that I have scoliosis with a lot of scoliosis with a lot of persons. It got out because persons found out, and even after that, when I went to do my surgery, I did not tell a lot of persons. The reason why is because, not that I don't want persons to ask me questions, but persons tend to get so deep into it and think about things I'm not really thinking about. My friends look out for me a lot when it comes on to my back. So I'm grateful for that. But when, somebody find out, they'll be like, how you feel, how this and that. And I was like, I'm normal. I just cannot do the things that I listed before, but that's about it. But this is not something I tell somebody unless they need to know. For example, if I am going to do an activity, like any adventurous thing, the instructor there, I'd say to them, say, listen, I have this, is this okay to do? Have you have anybody who have my condition who've done it before? At work, you tell people what's wrong with you, because then they'd wonder why you cannot do certain things yourself. And then I get assistance, because one thing with me, my back is not stopping me from doing my job, because I love what I do. And when people see the scar and ask, I just say, scoliosis. Before, scoliosis wasn't something that was known to everybody, but I think that it's getting there now. You don't say scoliosis and people say, what is that? I think people know what it is now, or when they see the scar, they'll ask you, did you or do you have scoliosis, and you can answer. But this is not something I really share. But I posted a picture in December, I think, and a lot of persons saw the scar and they started to ask, and it's time to open up. So I hope you guys did enjoy my little story, and now you know what my surgery was for. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell. Just may I stay here and wait. I'm going to wait. You can subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell. Bye.